If you only had one of your tics, which would it be? Ooh, maybe that one. I don't know. Hey, fuck. Hello. I'm Grace and fuck. I have Tourette syndrome, and today I'm going to be answering some questions from the honesty box. Here we go. What is Tourette's? Hey, fuck off! Tourette's, for me, is a neurological disorder characterised by tics that can be motor or vocal. So it means you might make different sounds, say different words. Hey, fuck! Swear. Hey, fuck! But yeah, to have Tourette's, you have to have at least 2 motor tics and 1 vocal tic. Everyone with Tourette's will experience something different, so what I'm going to talk about today is my own experience. Okay, next one. Why? Fuck off! Oh my fuck! Why is Tourette's always swearing? It's not. Only about 10 to 15% of people who have Tourette's actually swear, and the term for that is Coprolalia. People always assume that Tourette's is just swearing because that's the thing that's shown most in the media. I mean, when I talk about these kind of things, I'm not really the best example because I swear a lot with my Tourette's, but that's because I'm part of the 10 to 15% that have Coprolalia. Hey, fuck! If you look at the statistics of school children, it's about 1 in 100 who have Tourette's, so yeah. And if you put 10 people in a room with Tourette's, statistically only 1 of them would actually swear. What are your major tics? Like my worst ones. Hey, he's got a fucking itchy nose, I saw. So I'd say my worst ones are hurting other people, whether that's emotionally or physically, or hurting myself, because I do tend to punch out. I've bitten people, punched people, kicked people, pulled people's hair, and then some of the things that can come out of my mouth can be quite offensive. Ugly bastard. My tics developed when I was around 11, and it just started off with a small, like that. And my mum would always say to me, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I don't know." She's like, "Stop it." I was like, "I can't." And then when I was 15, I went through a trauma, and a couple of months later they blew up to how it is now.
Well, we're very grateful that you're here, so thank you very much.
You're not fucking welcome.
Do you mind if we laugh?
Yeah. I always say to people, please laugh. If you didn't, it'd be weird. Do your tics reflect how you actually feel about a certain person or thing? Okay. I think a lot of people with Tourette's, so for the most part, no. Our tics can be situational. Oh, like earlier when you were itching your nose, yeah. I saw that, my brain processed it. I didn't think about you itching your nose. I saw it and it came out. I didn't know I was going to say it, kind of thing. I mean, if you know certain qualities about a person, it might reflect that person or thing, but it's not always that. And it doesn't mean, we don't tic what we always think. I can't say that it's not always something that we don't think, because people think things all the time, they just don't say them. We just have the disadvantage sometimes where it does fly out of our mouths. Hey, is Tourette's genetic? Yes. Hey, there is a genetic component, it's hereditary. Your parents will normally carry a gene, like one or the other. I have tics on both sides of my family, so someone in my dad's family has it and also in my mum's, so thanks for that. But yeah, it is, and I'm pretty sure that if I wanted to have children in the future, there's a 50-50 chance I could give it to them. How physical can tics get? My tics can get incredibly physical, to the point where I went out last year for dinner, and I went to sit outside because my chest was feeling tight, and I thought that I was feeling anxious. Turns out it was just a tic attack, which is a series of tics that just Like, they don't stop, they're non-stop, you can't suppress them, and it can go on for hours. My longest tic attack's been about 9 hours. And it is just constant, very physical, well, for me anyway, very physical, very shouty. I have had my knuckle the size of like a ping pong ball because I've smashed a table and then I've smashed everything in my way. Hey! I get stuck on the floor sometimes looking like I'm having a tonic-clonic seizure when really it's just very physical tics. My back, my whole body contorts. Yes, it's pretty nasty. Yeah, it's a very exhausting thing to deal with. Because I think something that's important to know, as much as this question is about physical tics, not all tics are physical, as in you can have mental tics, which can be just as exhausting. So it's kind of like it can be a word, a phrase that goes round and round and round your head that won't stop. So even if someone has Tourette's and they're not physically ticking that you can see, it doesn't mean that they're not having mental tics, and their brain is still having to work just as hard as it would be if you were just normally ticking. Hey, do you tic in the bedroom? If it is good sex, no. So if there's anyone out there in the future who's going to wife me up, if I tic and we're having sex, you're shit.
Quite a brutal reckoning, isn't it?
Yeah, can you imagine you're in the bedroom and like you're mid-sex and you just go mad, or I'm just like woohoo, woohoo. Have you seen Tourette's? Hey, fuck off. Represented fairly in film or TV? I have. Hey. So recently there was a film that came out called I Swear. Hey. And it follows the life of John Davidson, who has severe Tourette syndrome. He has Coprolalia, but it's not just about swearing. The film isn't about swearing, which is what a lot of the media tries to show. There's very sad parts in it. It's like heartbreaking, but also it's just shows how he came out the other side and how he's doing now and how he's still pushing through. He's an incredible guy. But obviously I can only speak for myself, but I feel like a lot of people would agree with me in saying that it's just an amazing film and it's going to change a lot of lives, maybe even save them. Hey! Is it contagious? Fuck off. No. No, it's not contagious. Tourette's isn't a cold. Tourette's isn't fucking AIDS. Tourette's isn't, I don't know, an airborne disease. It's in the brain. It's staying in the brain. The only thing that's coming out is the words and movements. No germs, nothing. And I feel like it looks, I mean, if you're uneducated, fine. But if you are someone who will sit there and constantly say like, oh, I'm gonna catch this, go and do some research because you look pretty stupid. If you have the condition already, you're not catching a tic, you can develop the tic that they might have if you have something called echolalia or echopraxia. So echolalia is the tic where you copy the sounds or phrases, words, whatever, and then echopraxia is the movements. So if I watch someone itch their head, I might itch my head or do something like that. But it would only happen if you already had the condition. Shut up, sorry. What can trigger a tic? You. Tics can be triggered by a multitude of things. They can be triggered by, well, mostly for me, they're triggered by heightened emotions. So if I'm really anxious, angry, happy, excited, they can be triggered. But funnily enough, when I'm sad, if I'm really sad about something, they normally go away. I don't know why, I don't know what the reason behind that is, but yeah, they go away when you're sad, for me anyway. Hey! What's the worst thing you've said? Hey, fuck! Hey! Hey! The worst thing that I have said is the N-word. And I hate it. I hate that I've said it. The first time that it came out of my mouth, I sobbed uncontrollably for ages. And it still really upsets me now. Anyone who's heard that word is allowed to feel offended. They are allowed to feel uncomfortable. We're not saying that you're not allowed to feel the way you do about it, because you are entitled to feel any way you do about it, but you just need to understand that it was not meant in a malicious way. It was not said to hurt anyone. And for people with Tourette's, anything can become a tic. Any word, phrase, movement, whatever. You could do the splits. And this has brought up a lot of hate for John. Basically, John ticked the N-word, which holds a lot of history, trauma. And I'm not saying that it's right that for him to say it, but he ticked it and it was involuntary. Our tics are involuntary, your abuse isn't. And the things that I've read about John and just people with Tourette's in general, like we shouldn't be leaving the house, we should have muzzles put on us, we should be put down. It's disgusting and it makes me so angry. And I know that people maybe watching this will think, well, you're disgusting, you're racist. And you can think that, but it's not a choice, it's not, as I said before, the things I tick are involuntary. The comments that you leave, and may well leave, are voluntary. You can choose whether to post that or not.
Going forward, and kind of us included, how do you think the media should treat Tourette's? Should they censor words? I mean, would you prefer if we censored your tics?
No, I wouldn't want you to censor my tics. I've been turned away from a lot of different places because I swear and because of the things I say, and at the end of the day, it's not a choice. So for me, I wouldn't want you to censor out the things that I say. But I guess it's just different for every person. It's different for everyone. How does it stop you from leading a normal life? This is very sad to me because I'm all about independence. But independence is something that I really am trying to work towards. But sometimes it's just not possible. Like, I want to move out and live on my own, and that's something that I'm trying to process at the moment. And I think it's a very scary scenario for not just me, but for like my friends and family who want me to have independence. But if I have a tic attack on my own, I don't know that I can contact someone to help me. I don't know if I'll be able to cook for myself, for instance. Like, I will just put my hand in a bowl of boiling water, so yeah, it can stop you leading a normal life in many ways. I mean, like, I can't work properly. I mean, I like to consider my music that I do as my work, but it's not like a normal, typical full-time job. I can't do that because places just either don't accept me or I just feel the need to suppress too much and I can't deal with it.
Could you drive?
You can drive with Tourette's. I personally can't because I have absence seizures. So my seizures are the things that stop me from driving, not my Tourette's. I have friends who have Tourette's and they drive. If you could get rid of Tourette's now, would you? This is a really hard question, and I feel like for a lot of people you'd sit there and think, well, if you talk about how much you hate it or how hard it is, why wouldn't you just get rid of it? So before my tics blew up, I was mute in a lot of situations. I didn't speak. I never, ever would have done anything like this. I couldn't speak to people. I didn't go into classes at school. I sat with my hood up in a corner facing the wall for most of the day, or I wasn't there. But when my tics started, it kind of gave me a voice because it would start conversations for me and then I'd be forced to talk. So like, hey, if I swore at someone or, I don't know, called them fat or something, I can't just sit there and not say anything. I'd have to be like, oh, sorry, I've got Tourette's. And then that would make it easier for me to go, oh, and by the way, I'm Grace, and talk about it. And I've made a lot of friends in the Tourette's community since having my diagnosis. Hey! And yeah, so I think if I could get rid of I would get rid of like the things that offend people or the things that hurt me or others. But like without these like really loud outbursts and weird movements, as much as they can be horrible, I am really awkward. I kind of, like, my Tourette's kind of helps me be more confident, which I think some people might think is weird because it's a very out there condition. It's not easy to hide. So you can get a lot of attention from it, and most of the time it's the wrong kind of attention. But it's made me who I am, as cringy as that is, but also more confident. If you only had one of your tics, which would it be? Ooh, maybe that one. I don't know. I don't know. Some of them are really awkward. Like, I wink at a lot of people in the street. Don't want that. Like, I wolf whistle people in the street. Don't want that either. Maybe a quiet one. Like, I actually have a tic where I clench my arse cheeks. So I could probably keep, I'm doing it now. I could probably keep that one because it's not very noticeable. Don't look at my bum, you perv. Yeah. Maybe that one. If there was a medication to stop your tics, would you take it? I have taken medication for my Tourette's. Fuck! And I hated it because it made me feel like a zombie and I was falling asleep sitting up. So I actually wouldn't be able to talk in this interview. I wouldn't be able to talk right now for this if I was on it. So, no. But if there was a medication that I could take to stop my tic attacks in a heartbeat, yes, I'd take it. But for like the everyday tics, like just the common ones, no. Next. Bitch. You ugly bitch. Hey. How would you describe what a tic feels like right before it happens? Listen, bear with me. Before you fart, you can feel like a building and you're like, oh my, I'm gonna fart and I need to get out. It's kind of like that. Sometimes it comes out and you don't want it to and you're like, sorry. Other times you can hold it in and sometimes you can, you know, do it quietly. And someone might notice it, but you never know. Have you ever got into dangerous situations because of your tics? I've been in a kind of like wrong place, wrong time situation. I mean, some of the tics that I say, there's never a right place for me to say them or, well, tic them. But I've had a group of people come around me whilst I was ticking a very offensive word and threatening to beat me up. So that was a pretty dangerous situation.
How do you explain yourself out of that?
Sometimes I can't. I mean, in that situation, it was very much like my tics kind of, they can take over, so I can't actually get a word out. But I tend not to be on my own too much because of that when I'm out in public, because I just get so anxious that I'm going to offend someone and they're going to take it the wrong way. Because if they don't know I have Tourette's, and even when they do know that I have Tourette's, they have every right to be offended by what I say. I just have to explain that I can't control it. Are moments of silence like Remembrance Day a nightmare? Yeah. Hey! Yes. I tend to try and shove my fist in my mouth when it's something like that because a lot of the time my tics are me saying or doing things that I really shouldn't do in that certain situation. So around Remembrance Day, my tics do get very war-based. Hey, fuck! They come out with all sorts of things. Sometimes I'll say facts about the war that I didn't even know I knew. And when I was in school, I would take myself off somewhere to do remembrance by myself, or someone would sit with me and I'd watch from a window so that I could still be a part of it, which I was very grateful for because I didn't want to seem like I didn't care or anything, because I really do. I just don't want to interrupt. What has helped you to reduce your tics the most? Music. Music is my lifeline. I'm not gonna lie. I play instruments, I sing, I listen to music all the time. Before I came in here, music. When I leave here, music. I hate saying this because it's so cringe. Music is my medicine, but it is. Like, it's the one thing that I can count on to calm me down. Not necessarily stop it, but it calms me down a lot. Hey. How would you want Tourette's awareness to be presented and spread? Like STDs. If you're going to talk about it, if there is awareness being made and you're a person who doesn't have Tourette's or a person with Tourette's, talk about facts. And if you don't actually know that that's what it is, make sure you say that, just like I have. I'm not a Tourette's genius. I don't know everything.